Hey guys, welcome to MF on NF. My name is Emily and I am clearly an outcast. I have been watching NF reaction videos on YouTube for a very long time. I've watched LFR Family, Knox Hill, Alt Space, Stevie Knight, just to name a few. And I've noticed that there are some types of reactions that are missing. So I've decided to try and fill in some of the gaps. I'm a huge NF fan. I've been following him since Therapy Session came out. I hadn't heard of him yet when Mansion came out, but I've been a loyal outcast ever since Therapy Session. And I would love to go through all of NF's music from the very beginning all the way through what he has right now and hopefully what's coming soon in the future, and give you my perspective as an outcast, as someone who has been following him for a long time, who knows the NF journey, and go through and give my analysis, my reaction, and what his music means to me personally. Part of the reason why I love NF so much is that I can relate to a lot of his story. I was abused as a kid. My brother is a drug addict. I am also a Christian, and everything that he feels and that he puts into his music just describes my life and the way that I feel. So I would love, this lawnmower in the background is really killing my vibe right now, but I would love to be able to share from my perspective, someone who relates to what NF has to say and what his music means to me. Most reactors are sharing a first reaction, which is awesome, and I love seeing people get introduced to NF for the first time, but I want to share, as someone who's known NF for a while, what his music means to me, my real analysis diving into the lyrics, which a lot of people can't do when they don't know his journey. I would say the Alt Space does it the best of anyone that I've seen, because he has been starting to follow along. And I'm not going to just do the videos that people recommend or the ones that follow the NF journey. I want to react to every single one of his songs from the start all the way to the present day. So I've decided to call this MF on NF. It's kind of cheesy, but I like it. It's the best that I could come up with. So I'm gonna get started today, and I will not be doing Intro by Mansion because he released, I don't know if he would call it an EP or what he would call it, before Mansion came out. Mansion came out in 2015, and in 2014 there's probably an EP, NF, and the first song on that EP is All I Have. So if you could bear with me through this long intro, then it's finally time to get started with my reaction to All I Have.
Okay, so I had to change locations to try and get away from all of the background noise. Hopefully it's better up here. The lighting is worse, so I apologize for that, and I had to switch cameras in order to record the actual reaction part, so just bear with me. I'm just getting started. But let's get started with All I Have. He looks so young in this. It's crazy. I mean, 7, almost 8 years ago, so it makes sense, but
all I ever wanted was somebody to hear me, and all I ever wanted was somebody to feel me. And everybody wanna tell me that I'm out of my head when I'm on the mic, that's fine, but that don't scare me. It's been a long time, but I'm back now. Rap out, welcome to the rap house. Rap out where I live till I pass out. Blackout, everybody keep on wondering if I still rap now. Are you serious? Anybody out there hearing this? I came in the game as a lyricist, and I'ma leave like that, period.
okay, I love that because he talks about this in a lot of his music, but people are always like, are you still around? Are you still doing this? And he's like, this isn't a phase, I'm here to stay. So I just love that from the very beginning. He's already on that, so back it up a little bit.
I came in the game as a lyricist, and I'ma leave like that, period. You sniff lines, I'll write lines.
Okay, sorry to pause again so soon, but that's another thing that is a theme throughout his music. Him using these contrasts of other artists doing drugs and using that metaphor, contrasting it to him as an artist. So he'll be like, you sniff lines, I write lines, like he does in here. And he does that with drugs, alcohol, lots of stuff, contrasting it between him and others. Or even just in himself sometimes as well. So you'll see that through his music if you're not familiar with him as an artist.
Like that, period. You sniff lines, I'll write lines. You've now entered in my mind, and you better get ready, cause you might find I'm from a different place in my kind. It's a little bit different than yours. Quit snoring, hip-hop isn't dead. It's just
The confidence, I love it.
I'm warming up and you're misinformed. If you think that I'm slipping up, this ain't sick enough, then I'll skip the chorus.
Okay, I have watched so many reactors and they all miss that, where he says, you think this ain't sick enough, then I'll skip the chorus, and then he goes right into the next verse. There was supposed to be a chorus there, and he's like, all right, you're questioning me, I'll skip the chorus and I'll just keep on rapping. I just think it's awesome.
Thick enough, then I'll skip the chorus. In here, ain't nobody heard of me. Yeah, I'ma turn this beat to a murder scene. I live for the world, I live for the king, I live for the king. Focus.
Again, sorry to pause so quickly, but I love the way that he talks about his faith in his music, because as a fellow Christian, I know that I can't speak. He hates being called a Christian rapper, right? Because he's a Christian and he's a rapper, but he doesn't just make music for Christians, so he's not a Christian rapper. But people try to label him that. But because he writes about his life and what he's actually experiencing and going through, I can't get this hair out of my mouth, then of course his faith is going to play a role in that. And so he talks about his faith a lot in his music, but in such a natural way, and a way that is just authentic to his own experience. And as a Christian, I love the way that he's able to do that so naturally.
Murder scene. I live for the world, I live for the king, I live for the king. Focus. Wrote this with emotion. It's hard to get a break when the doors ain't open. It's hard to get a shot when the gun ain't loaded. And it's hard to make a living when nobody wanna notice. Hold it. What am I, insane? Maybe playing crazy. You put me in a room with a mic, you will not restrain me. You do what you want, but you can't contain me. Lazy is not a character trait of mine. Don't wait in line. This is the current condition of my state of mind. Don't tell me that this isn't real.
The vocals.
Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. This is all I have, all I have. All I ever wanted was somebody to get this. All I ever wanted was somebody to play this. Yeah, take my song, put it on they play, and get goosebumps every time they play it. Wait.
I love that part too, because this is him way back at the beginning being like, man, I just really want people to play my music, put it on their playlist. I have 2 NF playlists, okay? I have one that is all of his music, every song he's ever made, and then I have another one that is best of NF, so it's my personal favorites. And I'm gonna out myself, I was in the top 2% of NF listeners in 2020. Now that we're coming to the end of 2021, I'll find out soon from Spotify where I landed this year. But I am obsessed with his music, and I love listening to it. And I get goosebumps when I listen to it. So it's just cool listening to that lyric from him way back at the beginning, wishing that this would happen and being a product of that dream coming true.
My song, put it on they play, and get goosebumps every time they play it. Wait, this my calling or not, Father? Maybe I should just not bother. Go back to that 9 to 5, but I am not a quitter, so quit that. I never been a killer, but I guarantee I kill tracks. Put him in the coffin, lost it. Rip that, trying to make an impact in rap. Is that insane? Well, I guess so.
He does make an impact.
Give me that pencil, and you ain't never gonna make it. It's all mental. I am in a place where I can't let go. I still work a job and do this, and y'all know it's stupid. I thought all you had to do was get a record deal and yo things start moving, but that's not the case, because most of the time the artists you hear, you keep on thinking that artist is new, but that artist has probably been at it for years. Yeah.
Okay, so that part too, the first time that I listened to it, I was like, oh wow, because it's not something that we really think about a lot, but is totally the case. I mean, even in the case of NF, I started listening to him when Therapy Session dropped, but he had Mansion before that, and he had this, NF EP, whatever it's called, before that. And of course he was producing music before that too, which we'll talk about another time. But and then he didn't really blow up in the public sphere until Perception. That's when he started to become really popular. But he has been putting work in, and lots of artists, they're putting all this work in well before people even know their name. And we're just like, oh, I just discovered him, so he's just now becoming famous, but or he's just starting. But usually artists have been working at it for a lot longer, and so I just love that he's open about that.
Keep on thinking that artist is new, but that artist has probably been at it for years. Yeah, in the back of my mind thinking, am I wasting my time dreaming? And I ain't got no money in my wallet, but I guarantee no way that I ain't gonna leave this. I need this, I swear to y'all, I need this. And this hip hop's in my veins, if you cut me, I'ma bleed it. And yo, what you think I write raps for no reason? No, take my pain and I put them in the song. Ever since them pills, they took my mind.
Okay. I shouldn't have cut it off so soon because the next line connects as well. But I love that he talks about that as well. He says, what do you think? I write this for no reason? I write raps for no reason? No, I take my pain and I put it in the song ever since them pills they took my mom. And then he says, I've been a different person because ever since the pills took his mom, he's been different. I mean, you can't be the same after that. So this is just another example of him being him and being authentic and real in what he's writing about. He's writing about his experiences. He's writing as therapy for him, which we'll see in therapy session a couple albums down the road. But yeah, I love it.
They took my mom. I've been a different person. Don't try to predict my verses. What you're hearing now is me. Whether I'm in front or behind that curtain, I stand behind these words. I'm a Christian, but I'm not perfect.
I love that too, because there's this perception that Christians think that they're perfect. We're not. And any Christian who tells you that they're perfect or thinks that they are perfect, they're clearly not living in accordance with the Bible, because the Bible's very clear that it's what Christianity is all about, is that you are a sinner in need of a savior. And even after you become a Christian, you are still a sinner in need of a savior. So anyone who thinks that they are perfect cannot really claim to be a Christian, because they're not following the basic principles of Christianity. So I just love that he's open about that.
I'm a Christian, but I'm not perfect. Don't tell me to calm down, I'm calm now. Listen, I'm just working. Yeah, it might take a minute to get it, but once you get it, everything will be crystal clear. I don't think they see my vision here. I don't think they see my vision here. Don't tell me that this isn't real.
I love his vocals.
Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. Oh, this is all I have, all I have. Don't tell me that this isn't real. Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. Oh, this is all I have, all I have.
Okay, and with his vocals, he's a really good singer. I don't know if any of you know this, but the singing is actually what got him signed to Capitol Records. There's a video of it on YouTube when he met with them. He freestyled for them and he sang along with it, and it was really good. You can find the video, and that's what got them interested in him. So yeah, he's an awesome singer, and I love that he can do both.
Don't tell me that this isn't real. Don't tell me this ain't how I feel. Oh, yeah. All I have. Don't tell me that this isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real.
Oh, that high note.
This is all that I have. This is all that I have.
Oh, man, he's awesome. I love it. Oh, that was so much fun. Just getting to go back to the very beginning, because I don't listen to a ton of his stuff from the original EP anymore. And so, yeah, it's nice just getting to go back to the beginning and analyze it and react to it for you all. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, then you can follow along as I go through every single one of his songs. So we'll do this whole NF EP before we start going through his albums, and we'll be sure to do his singles in between the albums as well. So if you liked it, you can like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and I'll be back soon with another video. So until next time.